Alright, got the GoPro running. Say hello. Hi. Send you a copy of that later if you like. Alright, so we got temperature, do magneto checks and stuff. Good. One's good. Check the spray clutch. Up engine RPM, rotor RPM. So when they're together, right, so this, when they're together, timings, rotor RPM stays up, so spray clutch is working. We got a governor that just keeps the engine at RPM. I said, I don't need, this is a throttle on the handle down here, but I don't need to touch that. Check the hydraulics by turning them off. The extra pressure and good back on. Check the low RPM alarm. Alright, so it's gonna alert us if the RPM go too slow for whatever reason. Alright, hatches closed, seat belts fastened, switches set, T's green, we have sufficient fuel, lights are all out. Alright, pick up. So we're going to pick up, I'm going to go the other direction, I think, to keep it clear of the wires. Alright, pick up speed. And climb. That your tower over there? Yes, correct. Alright, so we need to be 2,200 for 500 feet. That's 300 maybe. So that's about 500 feet. That'll do. What have we got? Water treatment plant. No, that's actually. You know that what will be done. That's actually a chemical plant there. What used to be the chemical plant, it's now a chemical plant that produces chemicals for export globally. They supply something like their cooling ponds or reverse osmosis. Oh, okay. Ponds. But that's where the wastewater from the reverse osmosis goes and evaporated off. But yeah, they actually produce something like 30 or 40% of the copper wood treatment that the US market utilises. Like it's a crazy borough. Right. So there's Borough. This is the two Borough North. Okay. Borough is actually a whole pile of little villages, so there's all sorts of little pockets around because there's bloody that several different sections of the town. So this is the water treatment, wastewater. Okay, comes down here.
Alright, let's take the speed off.
Như đây là cái ký bác này như thế đi đầu cho tập cái tí bờ về thì họ ý về nè.
It's actually a toaster tower at the back, but it's also got Optus co-located. All right, yep. But that's our little tiny tower. Yeah. We put it there from the main street of town. Can't kind of see ours. Yep. It's just over the top of the hill, so you can sort of can't see it. All right.
See if we can get a shot with the town behind.
Bit of a different view of it. Alright, we've got enough footage of it. Have another one. Yep. Later.
Alright, so we'll come up to 1,800. Keep it clear.
Oh, is that a mine standby? Yes. She's used to be underground workings originally back in the 1800s, and then in the 70s they went open cut, and it was a copper mine.
Oh, the copper, of course, yeah.
Copper mine through into the 80s, and then the mine closed. But then from then on, because the type of mineralisation that was here, the plant led itself to be used for other copper chemical production. This was never a metal production facility.
Right.
Okay, so
a bearing the council building, that big one, is it?
to my office.
Oh, there.
Yep.
Okay, yep.
Barrow. Bearing. Lost my bearings. Yep, trying to find it in the damn viewfinder and then lost it. There we go.
Missed it a bit, haven't I? Have a go at it.
Just to get the whole town talking. What's the article doing? another piece that, can you see the barge that's down in there? The actual mine pool?
Yeah.
It's an all-weather commercial deep diving school.
Oh,
They've actually got a biometric. Very deep. Actually got it's the chamber called, not biometric. The chamber here.
alright, so which one the
The
next one we're looking
council
at?
building is a big one in the main street there with all the solar panels on the roof. We've got a link off top of that building already up to the tower.
Okay.
So we'll just change that over.
I think what we'll do is I'll go over that side and we'll see if we get a shot of it looking back into the up to the hill, get an idea of the lay of the land.
One of the only places in Australia they can do deep diving 365 days of the year. So how deep is it, do you know? Oh, deep enough that they need a big change.
Alright, so where's the hill? Over there, there we go. That will be a good place. Oh, what's this tower we got?
Oh, that's an old,
RF or something, is it?
it was originally for the ambulance
Okay.
back in the day. But that big house below it was the doctor's house.
Righto.
My mate, the doctor, was going, I told him was up above her in the chopper. Interesting town because big parts of it are very well laid out and other parts are sort of just all over the place, and that's just kind of the
Yeah, nice old bridge there.
But yeah, the big idea of it, run up with where the can over here to that church will do. But yeah.
Alright, so we'll swing around here and we'll see if we get a shot coming back, covering both towns and the hill in the background.
For example, this little patch of land right here, that was another little village.
Oh, yeah.
That was what we call Hampton. There was and then sort of out in the distance on the road over there was another, that was Copper House, and there was, a section here that was Aberdeen and Redruth, and there was all these separate townships within town. But it made it very interesting when the NBN came to town because the place has got a very small population and a very large geographical footprint to try and cover with fibre to the node. And of course they've done a whole job.
Yeah. As they did everywhere, they tried that full.
Yeah.
Alright, how's this angle? A bit further, I think.
Yep. Come out here over the golf course.
Bit much lower over here. Okay, I see the hill. Yep. Yeah, it's good angle. Alrighty.
You can sort of see when they 180 degrees coverage. Yeah, it's a good spot with a great spot.
I think the A6 will go nicely with it.
Get all like
All of it, but if it's and you think we could use another one, we can, yeah, and we'll do the job. Oh, yeah. Alright, so now where's the special house?
so just follow the bitumen road up here, straight up here.
Nasa technique, you oh, that's right, huh? That's, okay, really not. Good enough.
Brothers will be down there working on sheep, stupid bastards.
Yeah, it's the sheep industry these days.
It will for me. Probably both. I mean, it's originally a merino stud, right? So they actually still do run a merino stud, but they do a lot of meat now. Prospects. They've worked out that you use quite good mothers.
Yeah, right.
But they're not necessarily great meat producers. So you put a across, another breed ram over the merino ewe and get a really good meat carcass. So that's the
It is, yeah.
night house down there.
Oh, the mile, but my bridge should be right here. Should approximately 5 minutes on the light out. What I am.
They've built a car park, a viewing car park.
Because there was so many people parking on the side of a 110 kilometre highway and not looking before they just walk out into traffic. The council put a parking bay.
Very sensible.
To try and stop people getting around.
There's a road down in Otway Forest, Cape Otway in Victoria, and there's an unusually high population of koala. Right? Down there, you can pretty much stop anywhere and see a koala, right? But the tourists will come along.
We're going to be wind farm right through
Yeah,
here.
right, I can tell why.
Another 97 turbines or something.
Yes, the tourists just stop in the middle of the road, right in the middle of the road. Because it's not a highway, it's sort of like an access road to the lighthouse.
Yep.
And they just stop right in the middle. Can't get past them. They get out, they stand on the road. Some of them actually pull off the road and park, but then they stand in the road, take pictures of the koala. Koala or koala? I don't know.
So another where optic fibre terminates here on that's on the electronet. See, there's two towers just up in the wind farm here, just on that highest point. There's two towers.
Oh, yeah, I see them. Yep.
So the bottom one is the electronet tower. and the top one is what our gear's on. That's where the fibre comes.
Okay.
Well, you can see a substation just through the turbines over here on the back of the ridge line.
Right, yep.
Yep, so that's where the fibre terminates there, and then there's the fibre that runs up to those towers, and then we had to just do the last little bit up the...
Oh, we'll have a look at that. Or we'll have a look at whatever that is.
That's state government, so that's GRN,
Okay.
Government Radio Network.
Yeah. The AM station or the FM, the Radio National 600 or...
No, Government Radio Network, there are state government emergency services,
Oh, okay.
statewide trunking network. There too, the masts for the wind monitoring towers.
Yeah, okay.
For the, like, has it got its wire strung between the two? No, they're two separate ones. There's a couple more. There's a. Aussie Broadband used to have their WiMAX right on the top of the little hill here.
Righto. This same hill.
Yes. But actually right up on top. They've taken it all away now, but there used to be. They had a bit of a something up on the very top. Bit of equipment up there for many years. There, is it?
Here. There, yeah.
So the substation's over there. Yeah, I can have a look at it. So the 75 goes through that and continues on, and that's where we jump off the dark fibre. And then they use that from there up to their tower up there, which then links to Robertstown and on to the next wind farm. But then they do it all optic fibre now, so the tower is still there. And the fibre's still there, so we hopped onto dark fibre there, then up to the top. So we go from fully passive, or like, there's a transceiver in our hut and a transceiver at Robertstown.
How far is that?
About 6-something kilometres.
66 or 60?
About 60.
60, yeah, okay.
But 80k transceivers in it.
How much power does that use? It?
Oh,
It what's?
yeah, I'm not sure what the actual speed. Yeah, it's got 80 kilometre SFP modules. And so, you know, when we first did this area, little town of Mount Bryan, this area was a complete dead zone, no coverage. Aussie Broadband had pulled out, and now they're one hop of fibre. So they've gone from some of the worst internet in the region to one hop of fibre. So again, you know, potentially, depending on what we do, there's even, you know, later on, if the trial goes well and they approve it and everything else, there's another option there. You're about 4Ks.
Yeah, you'd be able to do that with 5 gig now, say, or 5 gig.
This, there's 530.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's just wind turbines as far as I can see all the way along that 275 kV line. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good though. I mean, like the position. Not so much to this farm here, but this was, the amount of civils they did here were quite mild, so apart from the actual turbines, there's not a lot of visible impact, but
It's not cropping land either, which is what upsets the Victorian people.
yeah, so it's all non-agricultural.
Alright, so I'm going to go around again so you can get a perspective look at the towers with the potential community targets in the background.
Well, this new farm down here, just due to the physical size of the turbines, the amount of civils they had to do just for the crane cart stands was insane.
Right.
And that created quite a lot of community backlash because the physical scar, the visible physical scarring of the landscape was just so offensive to people. They're like, well, hang on, up here when they did this, we could hardly tell they'd done anything. What the hell? And then we another tower over again over here, just below us to the south side of that.
Okay, we'll visit that.
Come on, zoom in.
Yeah. Alright. So, where's the next one?
Here to about your 2 o'clock over to that next main range. So we got the little community down in there where we've got a link quite heavily treed. So we've got a link in there. We've got just a couple of sectors on top of the town hall at one end of the town. Yep. Link back to that tower. Yeah, pretty much that rise. High point. We see the road that's crossing the range. Yep. First high point to the south of that. The highest point just
Okay, after that is dead ahead.
Yep. So when we built out, we did the opposite to what every telco does. We looked at the underserved areas and built out quickly to serve them, because in some of these locations we had 100% uptake, but there might have only been 25 houses that could actually see the tower, but we got every single one of them. So for anybody else to come in and try and take market share, we already had them. So they would have had to come in and do an overbuild and a massive Ross program to try and take the customers away.
Absolutely. Back in, around 2002 to early 2000s, I was working with a mob that was trying to do this sort of thing, and Telstra just kept stepping in just before they were ready to go. Just something we even had signed up customers that rang up and said, I've just got ADSL on.
Yeah,
A big problem.
yeah, we got in and we built out very, very quickly. And yeah. Give it a nice little footprint, and because of long-term local family, etc., sort of there is a lot of that. But
This one?
yep. We had 25 years of business trust here already, and we were already doing a lot of IT work and stuff for people. So
That priceless.
yep. So Josh bought the means, and we bought the rest. Tiny little town down there on the hill. We've got great hills, so we don't need big towers.
Absolutely. That's one of your nice, beautiful self-sufficient solar and battery, is it?
Yep.
Fantastic.
We've got like about 2 mains powered sites in the whole network. How do you get up there? Up along you get up there. Put in some very interesting spots. There we go. If you wanted to go back down this way, and we can continue on down this range.
Want to get a closer look at that one. I love that sort of tower. They're my favourite.
But you want to go on the edges of backhaul and four sectors. Or
Can't quite make out. What sort of sectors are they?
RF elements.
Okay.
17s, I think. About a kilowatt of solar. 5x HD backhaul back to that last lot of towers. Yeah, some very interesting locations to get stuff to. But you know, found where the gaps in the coverage were and worked out where the best hills were, and then went the extra mile to get the damn thing on the best hill. So, along this range.
Yeah, so according to, it's over there.
Yeah. Oh, so we go. We track down along this, follow this range down along. That will come to probably one of the worst sites in terms of build that we ever did, and then we can just go due east from there straight back to home.
Okay. We're on a bit of speed.
A couple of 100 kilometres an hour over the ground. So we should be able to get about 105, 110 knots.
Is whatever that, I think, about 0.9 So 180, yeah, nearly 200k. This is a stone fence. Is it? Walker's Wall. I've seen a couple like this. In fact, it might have been the same one. Alright, go for it. All the way. Yeah, he goes for miles and miles and miles. Like Hadrian's Wall. Yeah. There's 120 knots, you really know it. Yeah. Wind's whistling past. What's this we got? Is it a pipeline? Yeah, Morgan Manala pipeline. That's... Hey? Water. I'm water all the way to Manala from the Murray River. Oh, holy. Well, actually, it's technical. They pump it to Hanson. Did you fly over some... yeah, some flat Hanson where you came through kind of yesterday. There's some big tanks there. There's pumping stations from Morgan to Hanson. Okay. Then it gravitates to Whyalla. Yeah, right. Hanson is the highest point in the... gravitates all the way to Whyalla. Oh, there's two of them there. Yeah, the original one and then a larger one built later on. Additional capacity. One goes all the way to Port Augusta and around. The other one goes under the Gulf. Whyalla, is it what, for the steelworks? Yeah. Steelworks, and the township. They use that much water. And the town, they built the town, I guess. Water supply. Telstra Tower that's recently sprouted some NBN wireless. Well, if I plug into that, it'll work, yep. This tower down here, you can't get a vehicle within about 100 metres of it. So we carted everything by hand up the last 100 metres, including the concrete in buckets. That was the kind of dedication we put in getting the tower.
I'm ready to send platform 130.
Site to get to in winter, of course, when you have all the problems. Yeah. You'll just start to see it come into, just make out the white patch on top of the hill up here. If you follow that, stone wall. Got a bit of escarpment. Just you'll see in a minute. Just off at the 11 o'clock or yep.
Airborne off the major part. Look at him turn over the victim path. To the southeast, 1,000 miles. Station went to the northwest.
And so who are your customers here? Just these farms, are they? Just all around? Both valleys either side of this ridge line very, very underserved by big telco. So again, it was a case of just getting in and getting servicing the people that were not being looked after. So when you came along, you know, they had some pathetic 3G coverage. Yeah, at best. See how close I can get. Something else there. What's that one? That'll be RTK, so GPS base stations. Farmers, precision ag stuff. And if we turning around here and go now basically in that general direction, but if we go a little bit more to the left, that'll take us back to that other tower point, just up the valley from home. And make out the Telstra Tower and Burra back over there on the horizon, just about here 1 o'clock con. Yep, okay. But there's actually 6, isn't it? Yeah, our other tower is just sort of back around here, probably about your 11. Right ahead. So they're not hugely dense. Kadena, is it? Where's that? Kadena. Kadena. Not nowhere near us anyway. No. Go green. Yeah, it's not bad this year. Last year wasn't too bad. Year before that, she was pretty ordinary. Yeah, it's just amazing countryside. Very interesting place to try and get coverage though because of these long north-south. Yeah, but you've got the hills. I mean, like Victoria is basically flat compared to this. Yep. About straight now. Is this close rise? Yep. Yeah, okay, I see a dot there already. I think yep, that's something on the next, maybe. We've got an 11 gig length that runs from that tower up there through to this one and then down to Barrel Flat. The site has undergone significant number of transformations in its life. And this one is also for these small. Yeah, so this is also got homesteads, 4 sectors on it. So alright, there it is. Probably got one of our biggest solar setups. This also services part of the town. Part of this end of the town can't see the tower. Got a bit going on there. Yeah, okay, there's Burrow just there.
bit of equipment on that tower.
Nice, that was fun.
Yeah, and then we just straight back down the valley here to my place. That one's on my family's property as well.
Okay, this is how you get it.
Yeah, so we
Wheel tracks.
wheel tracks.
Yep, I can imagine that would be a bit soft after a good rain.
Yeah, the bloke driving the twin steer concrete truck up there, I think there were teeth marks in the seat by the time he got here. Yep. Then we back here about 1 o'clock.
Oh, there you're right there. All right. All right, I reckon we got some good pictures there.
Different perspective of a few sites.
I like that. That was good. The highlight of my trip so far. Oh, you want to do a circle over home?
Oh, can
Get some pictures? Don't have to spook the horses too much. No, they're not phased this time.
no, couldn't care less. Take one of the neighbours' place as well, as they asked. Very good.
Alright. These greens with that friction hatches are all good. Have sufficient.
Neighbour's dog doesn't like it.
Alright, just a couple of minutes in the cool. A 110. Alright, that should be enough to get to Wyala. Releasing the clutch.